Okay, my name is Amir Siddiqui, and I'm going to give you the top 10 things that I've learned in 30 years of training over 2,000 people in the real world. I have had two premium gyms. I've charged up to $1,000 a session to train people. Yes, that is true. And I have the receipts to prove it. And the other thing is, I'm not just an online coach, guys. I've trained people in the real world, and I've learned a few things in the real world that I think I need to now put into some sort of intellectual format. So let's start off with this YouTube video. So 10 things. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the details because the details are endless. Okay. So, number one thing that I've learned, number one thing, which could be a first principle, is that the whole game of progressive overload, okay, to achieve adaptive response or to keep making gains or to keep getting results, the whole game is about energy flow. How can I get more energy to move through my body over time? Okay. So if I spent, let's say, 100 calories last week on my bench press, okay, how can I expend 105 or 110 calories this week on my bench press? I can do that by either doing more reps, more load, more sets, changing the tempo. I can use any form of what we call progressive overload to expend more calories. At the very least, I do not want to be going backwards. I don't want to become efficient. Okay. So if I become efficient, I'm not going to create an adaptive response and I'm not going to get stronger. Now, there could be many reasons that I expend less calories. Could just not have gotten enough recovery, not enough sleep, don't have enough food in my system, stuff like that. Okay. So the whole game is about energy flow. How do we create more energy flow over time? Sometimes this is an issue of just variance and variability. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to do something that will increase the energy flow of the exact movement rep and set sequence that you did last week. Number two, strength and conditioning are one thing, they are not different. Okay, that means this: strength is the expression of conditioning at low reps and high weight. Conditioning is the expression of strength at high reps and a low weight. Okay, so strength can be looked at as a vertical and conditioning as a horizontal. So lots of reps, low intensity, you're conditioning. Whatever the movement is, okay? And few reps, high weight is strengthening, whatever the movement is. Number three, when it comes to planning a diet, you have to understand the client's psychology first, not physiology. Diet is about psychology. Diet is about psychology. It is about their perception of the food, their perception of hunger, their interoceptive nervous system or their interoceptive assessment of what their body is trying to signal to them. Okay, now think enteric nervous system when you look into this further. So always think psychology first when it comes to diet. You can always fill in the nutrients later. That's not an issue. Okay, we basically understand exactly when it comes to calories, we have a very good understanding. When it comes to how much protein and carbs, we have a very good understanding of that. But what we don't have an understanding of and we completely seem to ignore is the psychology. And diet is all psychology, guys. Remember, when a person is hungry or when a person is well fed, the mental states, okay, can really influence and do influence the training and the results of the training. Number four, whenever you have to always plan the training and then the diet. Okay, the training has to come first. You have to understand diet cannot create a result. Okay, diet can only allow a result. Training creates the results. Training is like having your foot on the accelerator, and having the right diet is like letting go of the brake. Okay, the training is signal, diet is noise. Training is the dynamic variable, diet is the passive variable. Number five, stop being afraid of fucking fatigue. Okay, fatigue and fitness can never be decoupled. They always come together. As you get more fit, and what is more fitness but the ability to manage more and more, tolerate more and more fatigue? Okay, don't be afraid of fatigue. I'm not saying seek fatigue. I'm saying you have to understand that like risk and reward are coupled, fatigue and fitness are forever coupled. Number six, body part training or bodybuilder training or bro splits. These fucking work. Okay. You have to think about them from the perspective of local to global, from inside out and full body training or compound lift focus training, push pull splits like that. That's from the outside in. Okay. So body part training, absolutely. Number one, we know that it works. Okay, we've seen it work in natural lifters, in enhanced lifters, in every sort of lifter you can imagine. I've had it work with women. Okay, once a week per muscle group, absolutely can work if you can generate the intensity, if you have the volume. The reason being, number one reason, the main thing you need to understand is that just because protein synthesis rates go down after 3 days doesn't mean the muscle has stopped responding or growing. There is systemic loading happening because you're training the other parts of the body. Number 7, cycle everything. Cycle your training, cycle your calories, cycle your macros, cycle your reps, cycle everything, cycle your supplements, and cycle your testosterone. Nature is not steady state. Okay, nature works in a cyclical manner. Okay, you also should organize your training in some sort of cyclical manner. Number 8, your program is only as good as your belief in the program. If you have any doubts about your program or your diet, it's not going to work. Okay, if you really do believe in your program, okay, if you have faith, okay, a shitty program is going to give you great fucking results. And this, you've seen it, I've seen it, we've all seen it. It keeps happening over and over again. Faith is a powerful determinant. Placebo really works because placebo is a real measurable thing, phenomenon. We just don't understand how exactly it works. Injuries are gifts. Number 9. Okay, the best coaches, okay, have been injured. Once you have an injury, and once you fix that injury, the amount of knowledge you gain and the perspective you gain is invaluable and cannot be taught. This is one of those things that you cannot be taught. It is like you cannot teach an athlete about losing, okay? You cannot teach someone about injuries, okay? You can only give them vague guidance about how to maybe prevent injuries. But once an injury occurs, okay, there's no guidance there. That's a journey you need to take yourself. But it's a completely different hill to climb. And it's a completely different sight. It's a completely different perspective. And it makes you a phenomenal fucking coach if you pay attention. Number 10, the key to results, besides maximizing or optimizing energy flow, is understanding that no quantifiable variable matters as much as the qualitative variable of intensity matters. If you can generate intensity, and you can generate intensity at any rep range, at any set range, with any exercise, if you can generate the intensity, okay, and if you can generate intensity, you're optimizing the flux and flow of energy through the system. If you can generate that intensity, you can get a result from anything, okay? It's just about generating intensity. Now, some guys are born with that sort of ability to generate intensity, that pow factor, okay? Some guys can learn it over time. Everyone can actually learn it over time. The only person that won't be able to learn is someone who just is totally afraid of the kind of fatigue and pain and suffering that comes with the learning process of learning anything that's useful and good. Okay, so intensity is a quality, not a quantity. The quantities, they don't even matter if you have intensity. So those are the top 10 things. And I could put down 100 things here, folks. So if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe and follow.